With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dewayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. It's an official show. All right, and what I mean by that is a lot of things have become crystal clear for the Washington Redskins as we head into the offseason. And I'm going to lay them out for you as we've learned some things over the last 3 or 4 days. So let's start with the news that probably all of us kind of knew, not really sure. There was a little speculation that maybe there could be a chance he could pull an Eli or a John Elway, and you weren't really sure. I had already told you on my podcast, and I had already talked about it on, I think, various Redskin platforms, that I assumed the Cincinnati Bengals were going to take Joe Burrow anyway. All right, no matter what Joe said, they were going to take him anyway. And it's been confirmed by Joe Burrow. Look, whomever takes me, including Cincinnati, if they take me, I'm a ball player. I'm a gamer. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to perform. So he's pretty much put all the speculation to bed, and that's all I needed to hear from Joseph, was that, look, if the Bengals draft me, I'll show up. He doesn't have to be happy about it. He doesn't have to sing Kumbaya or the Bengals fight song. I just need him to show up, sign the contract, and be a Cincinnati Bengal, all right? And honestly, I just need him to say whatever it takes for him to be the number one pick. And I thought someone brought up a great point in the comment section of one of the videos that I did when they pretty much said, look, Joe Burrow is just like every other athlete out there. They want to be the number one overall pick. There's an ego factor to this. You know, yeah, he may not want to play for the team that holds the number one pick, but guess what he does want to be? The number one pick in the draft. There's a certain title that comes with being the number one overall pick in the draft. There's certain adulation that you get when you're the number one overall pick. And so every guy is vying for that. And that includes Joe Burrow. And even though he may not want to play for the team that holds the pick, he wants to be the number one overall pick. So I feel really good now, and it's official because the Bengals had already come out and said they were taking Joe Burrow. All right, it's a foregone conclusion. They're taking Joe Burrow. All right, now that he's already said, I'm going to play for them, it's a done deal. The Redskins are officially on the clock, and I feel really good about that, knowing that the guy that we all want will be staring at us when our name is announced as being on the clock. So that's official. Another thing that's official, and I've been kind of going in the other direction this entire time, and I kind of loosened that stance last week as we started to hear more and more about the Atlanta Falcons' hardship and their woes under the cap. And so I started to kind of ease off the Austin Hooper isn't leaving Atlanta train. A lot of you have been really pushing that narrative, and I'm like, be easy. He's not leaving. And I said the same thing about Justin Simmons. I don't know if you guys caught this, but John Elway at the Combine said, if we don't reach a long-term agreement with Justin Simmons, we're going to slap the franchise tag on him, which is why I haven't been mentioning him. He's my favorite safety in the league. I already told you guys that. I haven't been mentioning him with the free agent safeties because I knew Denver would not let this man leave. He's too good. But the Falcons are in no position to stop Austin Hooper or linebacker Devondre Campbell from leaving. As a matter of fact, both of those guys are set to hit free agency, according to Thomas Dimitroff, the Falcons GM. He says, look, we like both of those guys, and if both of them were willing to take a little bit less than market value, we'd love to have them back. But if they're looking to cash in and get every single dollar that has their name on it out there, we can't help them. And so they're going to be allowed to hit free agency. That's music to our ears as Redskins fans, knowing that we're in the market for a tight end. I already told you it wouldn't make me one bit of difference whether the Redskins landed Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry. I like them both. I'd prefer Hunter Henry. I'd also prefer him to stay healthy, something he hasn't done throughout his career, though. So if you're asking me the guy that gives us the best chance to play 16 games on a per annual basis, I'm going to tell you it's Austin Hooper. Who has the higher upside? I tell you it's Hunter Henry. Either way, if the Redskins come away with one of those two tight ends, I'd feel really good about what the Redskins were able to do in free agency. Now, I'd also like to see the price tag for those two tight ends. You know who I also wouldn't mind kicking the tires of is Tyler Eifert. And I told you guys this on the free agency video that we did when we went through all the positions. And I said, look, if Tyler Eifert is healthy, if he passes a physical, I wouldn't mind kicking those tires. I know the injury history is great with him, and it's really, really been an outstanding rap sheet of injuries for Tyler Eifert throughout his career. However, you sign him to an incentive-laden deal, and it's not a lot of guaranteed money. If he comes in, proves himself, and does what he was able to do, say, 4 or 5 years ago, that could be a steal for the Redskins in free agency. I wouldn't mind signing two tight ends. He can't be the one guy that you sign. I would not be a fan of that. But if you sign Hunter Henry and a Tyler Eifert and you draft a tight end, I'd love to see that happen. Bring all of their asses to camp. I'd love to see that happen. But I don't think the Redskins are going to do that. They're not going to go that crazy at the tight end position. I think they're going to get one tight end in free agency, one in the draft, and then they'll move forward there. But the news here, officially, Austin Hooper is going to be a free agent. There will be no franchise tag. There will be no Atlanta Falcons holding him hostage. He's going to be allowed to test free agency, and I surmise that the Redskins will be one of those teams quickly in on the services of one Austin Hooper. That is official. All right, so this is some great news if you're a Redskins fan and you believe in Dewayne Haskins, or you want to believe in Dewayne Haskins. We've talked about how big of an offseason this is going to be for him. We've talked about how he needs to show that leadership, how he needs to be in the building, how he needs to be in the playbook, how he needs to be the first in, last to leave. You've heard the coaching staff, Scott Turner and Ron Rivera, and all of these guys talk about being the first in, last to leave, and being a guy that shows the leadership qualities that are necessary to be a quarterback in this league and be one that is very successful. Well, Dewayne Haskins taking baby steps in that direction, as it's been reported that Dewayne is going to take his wide receivers on a trip to Florida to work out this offseason. That's music to my ears. That's what a lot of the greats do. They grab a couple of their receivers. If they can grab 4 or 5 of them, great. But, these guys have busy schedules, whatever the case may be. If you can grab 3 or 4 of those guys, take them on a trip, little sabbatical. You guys go work out somewhere together. You build rapport that way. I love it. Love the direction that this thing is going in. And I love the fact that Dewayne Haskins is taking this initiative and that he is seeking out these receivers. And they're all young. And so I love the fact that they have a chance to grow together. And he's going to take these guys to Florida and they're going to work out together. Sounds great. This is what we're talking about when we say leadership. Dewayne Haskins, the leader. Well, we're seeing a little bit of a glimpse of that here with this planned trip to Florida with the wide receivers this offseason. Love to hear that. Want to see more of this kind of behavior and hear more of these types of reports when it comes to Dewayne Haskins this offseason and moving forward. And finally, Trent Williams and Ron Rivera will meet face to face. This is official, all right? From the lips of Ronnie Riv, okay, at the Combine, said, look, we're going to meet face to face. Obviously a lot going on right now with the Combine. When I get back to Washington, when I get back to Redskins Park, I'm going to sit down, and that's going to be one of the things that are high on my priority list. Sounds good to me. Sounds like we're getting even closer to a reunion between 71 and the Redskins organization. I think he's going to be back now. And I don't know, and this is the thing that I'm not as sure on, is will it be back under his last year of his deal, or will the Redskins look to extend? I hope they're thinking about extension here with Trent Williams, because if you ask me, you don't want this guy getting to free agency, because the more likely scenario is if he gets to free agency, he's not coming back here. You'd hate to have to slap a franchise tag on a 33-year-old tackle. So put yourself in a position where you can lock him up for the next 3 years or so. And maybe that last year of the deal is a team option. And if he's not playing at a high level or he hasn't been able to stay healthy, you can get from underneath the contract. But at the end of the day, you extend Trent, you give him some guaranteed money up front, you bring him back on board in the fold. He's a locker room guy, Everyone loves him. He's a leader on this football team for his work ethic and his play. We need a left tackle. And I love the people out there. And look, I was all in on trading Trent because I didn't think he wanted to be here. And I didn't think there was any scenario in which he would come back here. Well, we found ourselves in a much more advantageous situation to welcome him back. We've gotten rid of all the people that were problematic. He has seemed to have an open line of communication with the new head coach. All seems to be going well. I don't understand anyone out there that wants to trade this man because it's not easy to find a left tackle. I don't care how good reportedly this draft is supposed to be at tackle, okay? You don't find tackles on trees. They don't just grow on trees. You don't just go pick one off. A guy could be really good projected-wise, get in the league and stink. It's hard to find left tackles. We've got an all-pro caliber left tackle sitting right here in our lap, and we need to bring him home. We need to bring him home and solidify the left side of our offensive line for the next 2-3 years or the foreseeable future. And we need to do it with a guy that's our guy, that's homegrown product in Trent Williams. Sounds like we're getting a step closer with this face-to-face meeting between Ron Rivera and Trent Williams that reportedly is going to take place here in the near future. That is also official. And what also is official is that we'll be live tomorrow night here on the Louie T Network for the Redskins Report live, as we'll break down all of the hottest topics of the Washington Redskins over the last week or so. Talk about all the things that we've missed. Talk about what we should do with Dunny, because I think now we're getting to a point where I think the end is close to being near for Quinn Dunbar in a Washington Redskins uniform. So I think that's something that deserves a little bit more conversation. And I think we'll talk about all the other things that have transpired with this football team. And we'll talk about the Combine, because that's on the horizon. The reason we're going on Wednesday instead of Thursday is because of the NFL Scouting Combine, which starts this weekend in terms of the on-the-field drills on Thursday. And we'll wrap up, I think, on Monday, maybe Sunday. I don't remember how they have it set up anymore, whether it's Monday or Sunday. Either way, I'm going to have you all covered here on the Louie T Network. And so we'll talk about that as well. But in any event, I'm out of here. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. And also, remember, I am a Redskins fan etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 8:30 p. here on the Redskins Report live. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care.
Louie T Network.